Legends are not born. There are few people who can truly claim to be legends, and even fewer who can live up to the meaning of the word.
Very close. He hit a button. He's so genius. The taunt. He did a taunt combo to Punk in Grand Finals of Evo.
Tokido is perhaps the most decorated fighting game player in history. With top 8 placements in over a dozen different games over his career, he is one of the greatest players the fighting game community has ever seen.
A focused Tokido is probably one of the scariest people that you can actually imagine if you're in a competitive field.
And yet, when you think of fighting games, specifically Street Fighter, Tokido isn't the first person who comes to mind.
And that kind of like mentality change to be known from like plays the cheapest characters to just wants to improve himself to be the best is like, that's a huge change in how he is as like a person, not just a competitor, right?
Tokido has spent most of his career in Daigo's shadow. He's dedicated his life to perfecting his craft, all in his quest to become something many believe he already is.
I want to be the legend.
This is his story.
Fighting game is something so great.
Hajime Tokido Taniguchi was born on July 7, 1985 in Kanazawa, Japan. Named by his grandfather, Hajime means both to begin and first, and some would argue that his destiny was always to be number one. But it took him some time to get there. Tokido wasn't much of a gamer early on, but after moving and switching schools, he found himself without many friends.
So I just have to play myself, so I just go back home, then play not only fighting game, I play Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, and Street Fighter.
The first fighting game he picked up was Street Fighter II, which he often played at home by himself. But twice a year, he'd get to play competitively while he visited his cousin in Okinawa.
In school, I don't have friend, but in my mother's hometown, I have a friend, cousin, and he's a very good fighting game player. So we play fighting game each other, and I didn't win.
Tokido's cousin was older and better at the fighting games they played, but by the time they were playing Virtua Fighter 2, Tokido finally got the upper hand.
I practice a lot, so I'm confident. So half years later, I challenged him again. Then I beat him just a little bit. So at that time, I did it.
Beating his cousin gave Tokido a taste of the rush he's spent the rest of his life chasing. And the concept of constant self-improvement in pursuit of victory became core to his identity. The man we now know as Tokido has been going by that name ever since middle school. Back then, he would play King of Fighters in arcades and quickly became known for using a cheesy tactic.
My senpai called me, "Oh, you are very bad player. You just do jump, kick, and throw fireball. Your name is Tokido." Oh, okay, I accept it. I'm Tokido.
Even though it may have pissed off his friends, Tokido's strategy worked and became his approach to all fighting games. He played everything and made sure to pick the cheap stuff.
He just would pick whatever was the most effective thing and win. Like in Super Turbo, when he played Super Turbo, he just used Vega. He just did the Hyo ball, the wall dive tactics. When we played Hyper Street Fighter 2, which is the version that let you play every single version of every character, he just played CE Bison in that game. He didn't care. So he just did whatever it took to win. He played the most, oppressive strategy possible. And so, he was Dirty Tokido, and it was wonderful.
A few years later, after suffering a devastating loss, Tokido heard a rumor about an American fighting game tournament. But there was one problem. He wasn't sure if his father would let him travel to the United States.
I asked my father, because I don't have money, so I need parents' money. So I asked father. But at that time, I didn't think my father let me join. But my father said, "Oh, you want to go to US to join some video game tournament? Okay, I pay for you." I'm very surprised. My father is, for me, it's very, how to say, he's
Very serious?
yes, serious and strict.
Tokido traveled with the Japanese contingent and, despite being just 17, got his first taste at international success. Tokido showed America how to properly play Urien in Third Strike and defeated fighting game legend Onuki in Capcom vs SNK 2 on the main stage. It was his first EVO victory, and it wouldn't be his last. Tokido's career victories span an enormous number of games. Over the years, he's picked up top 8 placements in 14 different titles. But Tokido's first EVO victory didn't kick off his fighting game career so much as it put it on pause. At 17, Tokido still had a few years before university, but after coming home from EVO, he started to apply to Tokyo University, one of the most prestigious schools in Japan. Tokido still played fighting games during his studies and returned to EVO in 2005, 2007, and 2008, even winning Super Street Fighter II Turbo at EVO 07.
Oh no! Oh no! And there it is, folks.
But back home, Tokido focused on his studies.
At the time, I didn't play fighting game. I study a lot.
It wasn't that Tokido didn't have time to play fighting games, it's that he loved pursuing his studies. At least, he did until it was time for his master's degree.
I didn't go to arcade at the time because my study is very hard and it was so fun. But my score for entrance examination for master degree is bad, very bad. Then I have to change. Then I can.
Which is now you're interested in.
Yes.
I see.
As Tokido grew tired of the academic lifestyle, a new opportunity presented itself. Street Fighter IV released in Japanese arcades in 2008, and by 2009 was reviving the North American FGC on consoles as well. The players Tokido had competed with in high school were coming back. And when he dropped out of his master's program in 2010, Tokido came back too. Tokido was a few years late to Street Fighter IV, but when he did show up, he wanted to make a splash and quickly found himself drawn to Street Fighter's enigmatic villain.
I am Akuma, and I will teach you the meaning of pain.
Picking a Street Fighter main is often a practical choice, but for some players, their chosen character transcends tiers and serves as a reflection of themselves. Mechanically, Akuma is a low-health, high-damage character that demands perfection at the highest level. Narratively, he's a character that's found ultimate power and now seeks an opponent who can truly challenge him. In reality, he and Tokido were a perfect match. When you pick Akuma, you're making a statement. You're telling your opponent that you can play perfectly, that you can destroy them. And Tokido plays Akuma for those very reasons. He demands perfection from his character, from his opponents, and from himself.
His character concept, he has low health, but he has everything else. That means if I master him, he's the best character for me.
But the road to perfection is paved with defeat, something Tokido knows all too well.
Final pixel. Oh, low frog into the hands, confirm.
Xian has taken it!
Tokido found adapting to Street Fighter IV difficult at first.
At first, I didn't think he is good because I couldn't beat anyone. But little by little, oh, this character is good. At least not bad. Then, oh, good. Oh, this character top tier.
But he quickly found his footing. When it came to Street Fighter, Tokido was too often the bridesmaid and never the bride. He was a fixture in the top 8, but winning it all was a rare occurrence. Street Fighter IV was defined by small periods of dominance from a handful of players, but Tokido never had the consecutive major victories to establish his dynasty. There were incredible victories, to be sure.
And here
Looks
we go.
like this is it. Oh, man.
Yeah, that's it right there. And Tokido!
Well, congratulations. Tokido takes it.
But he had his slip-ups, too.
And look, Tokido's just not even moving. He looks like a dead fish.
Holy
and
crap.
just completely annihilated there by the Beast.
Wow.
They call him the
And
Beast.
Daigo
That was
laughs.
Beastly. The crowd is actually
There's actually
frowning about that.
Yeah.
And of course, there were the times he was so close to tasting victory and fell just short. But while Tokido was grinding out Street Fighter IV, he was juggling more games than any other top player. Tokido holds titles in Soul Calibur,
Pretty close. Go for the relaunch. Goes for the Rick up. Critical edge, and that's going to be it.
Sorry and Lizard.
Tekken, King of Fighters,
Gets punched in the gut, rolls back into the corner.
Tokido takes it down.
There was too much momentum going on there.
Street Fighter Cross Tekken,
It was not that.
Oh, no!
Okay, yeah, it's over.
What was that? Oh, and that's it. Tokido is going to take it over Infiltration.
Dead or Alive, Persona 4 Arena,
That's going to hurt. That might be the end of it. And there it is.
Tekken Tag Tournament, CVS 2, and Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
And Tokido is your Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Grand Champion of CEO 2011.
Not to mention his dozens of victories in main series Street Fighter games.
And that's it, ladies and gentlemen.
Great games. I actually really enjoyed watching that.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, it's been a long time since I watched Third Strike. That was really nice.
Yeah.
Tokido was a multi-game athlete with a penchant for the dramatic. He liked putting on a show for the fans and quickly developed a reputation as the murder face.
Tokido gets up and walks off and poses on the stage. Woo!
That is hot. I wish you guys could see what is happening right now.
The murder face nickname came from the comically serious face he put on when he sat down to play, but the name eventually came to be associated with his incredible, hilarious pop-offs.
And he's up in front of the screen. That is unprecedented. He's up the ante. And K-Brad's like, did that just happen?
Getting murder-faced is an incredible thing. Awe-inspiring and unbelievably tilting all at once. But behind the scenes, Tokido was struggling. Sure, he was having fun, but he felt there was something missing. Something he'd give up his reputation to get. Tokido worked a few part-time jobs to pay the bills after university, but it was all to support the one thing he truly cared about: fighting games. And after dominating CEO Street Fighter and MVC events in 2011, Tokido was signed by Mad Catz, which let him solely focus on his passion. But the sponsorship meant more than just going to tournaments. He was now on the same team as fighting game legend Daigo Umehara. It was proof that Tokido could stand shoulder to shoulder with the greatest fighting game player of all time. Tokido and Daigo had clashed plenty of times before, but seeing them on the same team was something special. Ahead of Mad Catz Unveiled Japan 2013, Daigo and Tokido were practicing behind the scenes. Daigo was slated to face off against Infiltration, then considered the best player in the world. And in order to beat his Akuma, Daigo needed to practice against the best Akuma player he could find. And so, he turned to Tokido.
The day before Mad Catz Unveiled, he asked me, okay, let's practice. Then he beat me, he destroyed me. It was the most shocked experience for me. Oh, it's same humankind, but he's another level.
Daigo went on to demolish Infiltration in one of the most one-sided first to 10 matches either player had ever participated in.
Daigo, you got the Infiltration handshake.
But Tokido was left wondering what the point was. Sure, he was a jack of all trades, a veritable fighting game savant who was good at any fighting game he touched. But even when the pressure was off, he couldn't beat the best. He was good. Not great, not a master, and certainly not a legend.
So I had to change my mind. I have to be the best. At least I want to be the best, or I couldn't survive in the fighting game community. Then I completely changed my mind. I stopped playing any other fighting game. Then I stick to play only one game, Street Fighter 4.
Tokido threw himself into his new life, and other fighting games faded away.
I changed a lot, even in my lifestyle, and yes, a lot of things. Not just in the game. And my name is, Hajime.
Yeah, Hajime.
Hajime is
number 1.
Yes, my grandfather's name me become number 1.
Street Fighter was everything now, and he would give his life to it in a way that no other player could match.
Nice, that's a effective punish. FADC blowing through the fireball. If you can do it instantaneously, it is going to be an automatic punish. We saw Infiltration doing it. Ooh, at the first Capcom Cup. Wow.
Stalin is Tokido right now.
Tokido's Ultra Street Fighter 4 career was about consistency. For over a year, he only missed top 8 7 times. Wins were still infrequent, but he was grinding, facing every tournament with a new sense of purpose. And through it all, he still found the time to be the over-the-top personality the fans fell in love with.
I know every tournament he gets second place.
I'm out. Oh my days.
Yes. And I know really he wants to be champion.
I'm out.
Oh my god.
But I'm sorry, your opponent is Tokido.
Tokido pushed and pushed, beating some of the game's top talent, and even made top 8 at EVO in 2015, the first time since his heartbreaking second place finish in 2013.
Oh, we might have. Oh, wow. Just a series of unfortunate events there for Kazunoko.
And lucky for Tokido that he didn't press a button right there at the end. It seemed like he might have.
Tokido couldn't make it past Momochi and GamerB, but when those two went on to play in the tournament's grand finals, Tokido remained the honorable competitor. When Momochi's stick broke mid-set, it was the Murderface who offered up his equipment to get the tournament back on track.
The steepest mountain taken down once again. The tournament point for Momochi. He has to win these 2 rounds. Oh no!
No, James. No, James. Not like this. Not like this.
Tokido finally broke through at Canada Cup 2015. The grueling 10-game grand final set against Fudo has gone down in history as one of the greatest Street Fighter 4 sets of all time.
And just like that, Fudo.
Oh, the reaction! The reaction! What is it? So light! So light! And he backed off!
But he's still down to life. Oh!
8 seconds. Oh, he got him!
Oh, Fudo busting out the super. Tokido forgot he had it.
Okay, yeah, I like that from Fudo there.
Yeah.
Oh! But he didn't hold it long enough. No crumple out of it.
These two players are pulling out every trick, every move that these characters have. Fudo fighting all the way here.
Perfect range.
Has he run out of gas? Oh, there it is. He did the wake-up reversal to blow up that meaty Focus.
Focus had been doing so much work, and again, Fudo saves that wake-up DP in that situation for the last game. Can Tokido stay away? Oh, he didn't want to stay away. He wanted to go in. Here comes Tokido. No!
It missed. Here comes Fudo. He's going to get a ton of damage off of this. He's going to get a ton of damage off of this. Here we go. Down to the last.
Can he come in? What's the mix-up? Counter hit. He wanted it, but Tokido blocked. Fudo trying to push.
Oh, he wants to do it.
Is that it?
Oh! That's gonna do it! Tokido takes it after a grueling match! That was a marathon between these two competitors, and you can see the relief on Tokido's face. You can see how much heart that he put into this match, this tournament here.
But that momentum didn't carry through to Capcom Cup, where Tokido fell short yet again.
He can't get hit.
Oh,
he could be stunned.
Stunned here, yes it is.
He's going to go straight to the
He's going to be able to climb, close it out.
This could be it for Tokido.
Yeah, the juggle at the end is going to do it, surely.
Has Misei eliminated him?
Oh, and Misei closes it out.
we say?
Clutch execution on the combo.
Has eliminated Tokido from this year's Capcom Cup final.
The launch of Street Fighter V marked a turning point for competitive fighting games. The game was built from the ground up with eSports in mind, with a Pro Tour ready to go day one, which meant Tokido wasted no time getting to work.
It's fine. Oh, okay. Oh!
Here comes Tokido! Here comes Tokido! Tokido gets the stun! He's gonna take it on a comeback!
The Murderface spent the entire first half of the year in top 3, but there was always one player just ahead of him.
Needs another hit or two.
He gets a throw! And that's gonna do it! The throw that puts him into the Capcom Cup!
Tokido met Infiltration in a string of grand finals and only managed to topple him once. But when he did, it was magical.
Oh, he's got the hit, he's got the stun, he's got a full meter. What's it? Is this gonna be enough to kill?
He can't kill. Maybe you can kill? No.
Not quite.
Tokido.
And he does it! He does it! He qualifies for Capcom Cup with a perfect! Tokido has done it! He has done it! He's qualified here at CEO with a perfect! And you can see the elation on his face!
Unfortunately for Tokido, that early momentum all but petered out by Capcom Cup.
Tokido trying to build up that meter for the critical art. Oh, no, actually he spends one of it and he misses his uppercut.
Overhead.
Thunder kick.
One more. He got it.
Oh boy.
Nope, but he didn't go all the way in.
All right, here's a huge opportunity for him.
He's
trying to go forward. And Eita, look at it. Eita beside himself. He has taken it.
Victory had escaped him once again. Tokido played all of Street Fighter V Season 1 with Ryu, but Akuma's Season 2 launch was the beginning of a new age, the era of Tokido.
It was interesting when Akuma came out, I think everybody was a little like, we're not sure how good the character is, we don't know how good, bad, like where he is on the tier list, and Tokido, he like famously told his manager, he's like, trust Tokido.
After proving that Akuma was far from the weak character some thought he would be, Tokido was signed by Echo Fox alongside a who's who of fighting game free agents.
That's it again! Wow. 2 for 2 on the Demons.
We're gonna have a compilation of all of them.
Is that it? You hear that? You YouTube monsters, get ready, get the Tokido Bam 9 Demon compilation.
While Tokido was establishing himself as the Akuma player to watch, there was a new contender for best in the world. Punk, an up-and-coming North American player, was blowing through tournaments and quickly became a favorite to win the biggest tournament of the year, EVO.
Punk is probably the best player in the world. That's my thought. I would be very surprised if he was not in top 8.
All signs pointed to Punk becoming the first NA Street Fighter champion in more than a decade. And after he defeated Tokido early in the tournament, his ascendance seemed all but certain.
Much offense from Tokido.
Oh, he got under! That's it! He should be able to confirm into the critical art! And there it is! Punk is gonna take it over Tokido and advance over onto the winner's side, top 8!
But Tokido bounced back.
Fake the demon setup and he got the meaty because of it. Tokido is gonna take it over Filipino champ.
And a light punch into V-Trigger will still connect. Oh my god, what are you doing, Tokido? You're a madman! Tokido knew that Itabashi was gonna go for a crazy Hail Mary with a level 1 vacuum, but level 1 is punishable. Tokido punished it successfully and he moves on. Oh boy. Be careful of that pair. Oh, wait, there's the confirm into the dash-up uppercut. Guess who is going to grand finals? It is Tokido.
What a run from this guy. The only man to beat him all weekend is waiting in that grand finals of Evolution.
He found himself staring down Punk in the grand finals.
Here comes Punk trying to get it. Oh no, ate it. He just ate the dive kick. And oh, beautiful side switch there from Tokido. There, he has the opportunity to go either direction. He said, oh, gonna be a stun.
Very close. He hit a button. He's so genius. The taunt. He did a taunt combo to Punk in grand finals of Evo. Finds a hit. Punk is for sure dead.
Oh, but he was hit out of the air. Punk landed into it. He's going to try to beat reversal to save himself. Now Chip becomes a concern if he can get another, like, 2 small hits on Tokido. Tokido has in V-Trigger. Oh, here he comes. What a mix-up. What a throw tech. Only 16 seconds, but he walks into the fireball. We have a loser's bracket, essentially.
This is huge, Tokido. The momentum is massive. The tech, it's looking miserable here for Punk. He's in so much trouble.
So this is where the mental fortitude comes into play.
I've never seen him look like this. He's just not prepared. He's unsettled by Tokido. The nerves are getting to him. The stakes here at Evolution. The confirm again. The back throw. He is marching all over him. Tokido, if this game is his, he'll be in amazing positioning.
Gotta activate the V-trigger to keep that safe. Oh, he used the medium kick. He used the medium kick. And we are going to get a demon finish here for Tokido. He's up 2-0 over Punk. It's all slipping away from him.
Counter hit confirmed Tokido. He's gonna have the setup here. Left or right, you gotta guess.
Oh my God. Big damn, oh my, is that enough?
He's dead. Tokido gets another round. He's got V-trigger. If he finds a hit, he'll kill. He jumped onto it.
Oh,
he baited the throw.
That's it. That's it. Tokido is the Evolution 2017 champion, coming all the way from loser's bracket. He's done it. He has won Evolution finally. He's been chasing it for so long, and there it is.
Even now, it's difficult to explain just how badly Tokido defeated Punk. He took the Ascendant rookie and brought him back down to earth. He took his competitive spirit and beat it into the ground, crushing him in front of the biggest crowd fighting games has to offer. But instead of gloating, Tokido finished the tournament with a message of love for the FGC, the community that had brought him all this way, that inspired the change in his life, that carried him to victory.
Congratulations. You know, you came all the way from Japan. Is there anybody at home or is there anybody that you want to give a shout out to?
Just one thing I want to say. Fighting game is something so great.
It's difficult in a word. At the time, I have a long story because I lost a lot. I lost to Daigo, I lost to Momochi, and then I stuck long time. I changed my style, but at first it didn't work. Then little by little, I improve myself. If I do good effort, the dream come true. Yes, that's I want to say that. That's why I say fighting game is great.
Tokido's definition of being the best is very different from most people's.
梅原を超えれるのかっていうことですよ、この業界で。そう、あの人がこの格闘ゲームの歴史そのものだからですね。僕はそれにまだ全然追いつけてない。姿が見えないんですよ。まだ遠い存在なんですよ、あの人。だからその差がどんぐらいなのかなっていうのは確認したいんですよ。
That's why Tokido challenged Daigo to a 1st to 10 as part of Daigo's Kimono Michi show match series.
He basically went to Daigo's court. He was like, he is known to be the best in long sets against really good opponents. So for me to be better than him, I need to win championships, I need to study hard, I need to be like a face of the community, and I need to be better than him at like what he's the best at, right?
And more importantly, a win would allow him to finally call himself the best in the world. Like Tokido did to Punk, Daigo crushed Tokido's spirit.
何を見せるか。コパン一つ危ない。しかなかったか。歴史的一戦。獣道に勝ったのは梅原。
Tokido didn't shrug off the soul-crushing loss. He learned from it and used it to fuel his competitive spirit.
Oh, Chip's a big problem too. Overhead! Oh, wow! This could hurt, ladies and gentlemen. Not quite dead. Uppercut! Tokido's gonna be your E-League champion!
Tokido appeared in 11 grand finals during the 2018 season and won 6 of them. He amassed more CPT points in one season than anyone ever has, and through it all, he's kept on grinding.
A backdash. No, he's not going to quite
throw.
juggle there. Goes for the B reversal, knocks him down. Oh, that should be punishable.
Let's go!
There it is! Problem X has taken Evolution 2018, and all of UK is elated. They have run up there to swarm him. Tokido has been sent home in second place.
Tokido wasn't beside himself when he lost to Mena RD, or even when he came second to Problem X at EVO 2018. Because Tokido demands perfection, and when his opponents come at him perfectly, he will never be upset.
This year's EVO, I lost to him, but how to say, I didn't upset so much. Oh, you are good, you are better, and yeah, congratulations. Just my feeling is congratulations.
He will just demand more from himself. Many would say that Tokido is already a legend. He's shown mastery in dozens of games and absolutely dominated Street Fighter V. He's played fighting games longer than most of his opponents have been alive and shows no signs of stopping anytime soon. But he still isn't satisfied. Would beating Daigo make him the best? Would winning EVO, Capcom Cup, and everything else make him the best? Tokido doesn't think so. Victory alone won't cement his legacy. Tokido wants more.
I want to be the legend.
Thanks for watching. If you want more great content just like this, be sure to hit the subscribe button.